Hey all, I'm your host Michael and welcome back to Awful Stories. As always, if you enjoy, make sure to leave the video a like and consider subscribing if you're new. With that said, let's begin. This story was posted by a throwaway account in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "I look exactly like my fiance's mother." I, 24F, have been with my fiance, 28M, for the past 5 years and have been engaged for the past year. He's the love of my life and we get along very well. He has always had a strange adoration for his mother. He usually talks about how smart, kind, and funny she is. I always thought it was sweet because I don't have a good relationship with my own mother. He has often said that I have the same personality type as his mother too. We're both INTPs. Throughout our entire relationship, I hadn't met his family. We live in Germany and they live in the US. We are currently visiting them now. When I met her, I really liked her. She's 64, so I didn't notice our resemblance at first, but when I looked at her wedding photos with my fiance's father, I really looked like I could be her daughter. Even my fiance's father pointed it out. We both have curly ginger hair and green eyes, and we both have bangs. We are a similar height and build. It's so eerie. If you compare a photo of her in her youth with me, we look like we could be sisters. His mother is also a fan of red lipstick. Guess what color the lipsticks he buys me are? Red. I asked a few friends what they thought, and they said this obviously can't be a coincidence. I decided to speak to him before bed yesterday, and I pointed out how similar I was to his mother. He shrugged and said people usually choose partners who are similar to their parents. I didn't believe him, but he showed me some articles on Google. I tried to let it go today, but I met some more of his relatives and everyone is talking about how his mother and I look like we're related. His mother finds this whole thing cute and has said, "My son misses me so much when he's in Germany that he found my lookalike." How do I approach a conversation with him about this again? Or am I just overreacting and should I let it go? I would love some advice. Update. Hello everyone. I posted 5 days ago asking for advice because I realized that my fiance's mother and I look extremely similar. Most of the advice told me to change my appearance, which is what I did. I managed to find a very nice wig with straight brown hair. His sil installed it for me. I've had it on for 3 days now and my fiance hates it. He's also upset with his sil for installing it. I made sure it was a shade of brown that suited me because I am very pale and everyone has complimented it except him. Even his mother said it was beautiful. My fiance keeps saying it doesn't suit my complexion and that my ginger hair is much better. I made up a lie and told him that my hair couldn't handle the water in the US. Germany has hard water, but the city my fiance's family lives in has even harder water, miraculously. So I said my scalp was irritated. He bought a water filter. He refused to have intimacy with me because I didn't look like myself to him. I also stopped wearing red lipstick and wore a pink one instead, and all he did was ask if I had a new favorite. I told him that red was his favorite, not mine, and he agreed with that. Yesterday, I removed the wig so I could wash my hair, and he walked in on me putting it back on. He said that I shouldn't wear it again because it looked terrible, and I rolled my eyes and laughed at him. After that, we had a conversation. He said that I looked much better with ginger hair and that he wanted to have intimacy because we hadn't done it in a few days due to the wig. I told him I didn't understand how hair attached to a net prevented us from being intimate. I then asked him why he called me mommy in bed. Disclaimer, I do not enjoy being called mommy in bed, but I put up with it because I love him. He gave the same response as usual and said it was a kink. I told him I didn't like it and he said he wouldn't do it anymore, but he was disappointed because as his partner, I should be supportive of his kinks. I said I would support others, but not this one. I then told him I found it extremely uncomfortable that I look so much like his mother. I said I would understand if we were both gingers, but we look so similar that people have mistaken us for mother and daughter. He immediately got defensive and said that it was just a coincidence. I told him that with the mommy kink, it was starting to look intentional. He then finally came clean. He said that he did decide to get to know me because I look like his mother. He said that he first took an interest in me non-romantic because the resemblance was uncanny and he was intrigued by it. Then he said he fell in love with my personality and that's why he decided to ask me out. So he wouldn't have asked me out solely based on my resemblance to his mother. I asked about the red lipstick and he said that he liked red lipstick and had asked his mother for a recommendation, so I guess that checks out. I then asked about him steering me toward hobbies that his mother has. I like to crochet and bake because he first introduced me to those hobbies, and I found out those are his mother's main hobbies. He said that baking and crocheting are nurturing hobbies and that he wanted a nurturing partner. And since mothers are usually very nurturing, he wanted a partner with his mother's qualities. As for the wig, he just said he preferred my natural hair. I honestly don't know how to feel about all of this. On one hand, this is weird as heck. On the other hand, his explanations do kind of make sense. I saw a comment on my old post from a ginger saying that she's dated a lot of men with ginger mothers, so I don't know if this means this is normal or extremely abnormal. He's an amazing and loving partner outside of this, so I'm thinking of getting us couples counseling and postponing our wedding plans. One good thing that has come out of this is that at least I know I look amazing with brown hair too. I would like some more advice and thoughts on this. I am still in the US with his family and I still have my wig on. This story is insane and I honestly don't really know what to say. The point the fiancé was trying to make, that people subconsciously gravitate toward traits in their partners that their parents also have, is certainly true to a degree, but having them dress a certain way and pick up the same hobbies takes this to another level of unsettling. Add in the mommy part and I just can't keep my jaw off the floor. For me, this is definitely grounds to separate. This next story was made in the Girl Gamer subreddit by a user named Cat the Roar. The post is titled "Sexist Worker at Gaming Bar." My buddy 21M and I 21F recently went to a gaming bar where the games are free, you just pay for drinks. He is very good at modern games, but I was raised on retro games, so I beat him throughout most of the night. He and I have a brother-sister like relationship where we rag on each other a lot, but we both know it's all in good fun. There was a moment when he lost very quickly at Mario and I was giving him a hard time when a worker came over as he overheard us and told my friend to play Mortal Kombat so he could win a game. I'll call him SW. I laughed and let him know he had already lost at Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. My friend and I went on to laugh about it since it wasn't that serious, it was all in good fun, while SW stood there with his mouth wide open. I thought he was going along with the vibe and joking around with us. However, he killed the mood by saying, "Wow, as a man, I would never let a woman win." This made my friend and me stop and just stare. I broke the silence and told him, "He didn't let me win, I just won. Thank you." He then said, "He's a better man than me because no matter the game, as a man, I can't have a woman beat me." I said, "Well, good thing there is no gender in gaming, just winners and losers." My friend and I walked away before he could say anything else. I was still in shock and talked about it loudly, hoping he could hear us while we sat and played Sonic. Later on in the night, I beat him at Miss Pac-Man, and ironically, SW walked behind me right as I did it. I leaned back and said, "Oh no, looks like he lost to a girl again." My friend and I laughed as he walked away. I am still very confused by this mindset as I saw many female patrons that night and half the staff were women. I know most of the games are from the 80s, but we don't have to act like we're still there. Update 1. Wow, I didn't expect such a quick response and I hear you, thank you for your support. I will be sending in a complaint today and will let you know the outcome. Thank you again and game on. Final update. Hey all, sorry for the late update. The update happened about 2 weeks after my first post and I forgot to post about it until now. Sorry everyone. Also, after reading the comments, I want to clarify something. Some people seem to be a little upset that my guy friend didn't say anything at the time, but I want to note that he is very non-confrontational at the worst of times. We were also drunk when the initial incident occurred and were both worried that we might be overthinking it due to not being in a clear headspace. However, after reading the comments and discussing it with a clearer head, we decided to say something the next time we went to the bar, as it is one of our regular spots. We headed to the bar, and after having a few drinks, a man walked up to us with what I can best describe as a managerial attitude. You could just tell by his demeanor. He asked how we were doing, and I said we were doing pretty well and that I was glad we were, as we had an issue the last time. He asked for clarification, so I told him what happened, and he said, "I think I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes, I will have a conversation, and I am very sorry you went through that. I'm glad you gave us another chance." After going back a few times since then, we have not seen the man who made the initial comment, so I can only assume he no longer works there. Thank you again for your support and for this amazing community. I will start posting here more often. Edit. I know I mentioned in the comments of the original post that I sent an email as well. I did, but I didn't get a response until after I spoke to management in person about 2 weeks later. So there wasn't really an update on that end. I might get some flack for my response, but first off, I don't think OP did anything wrong here at all. At the same time, I don't think this was entirely necessary. The remark from the staff member was certainly uncalled for and wrong, but to me, it came across much more as a bad joke rather than a declaration of war. People like that are likely socially stunted and don't understand the importance of using a filter, especially when they're around strangers.